It's your friendly neighborhood crustacean swimming over to you. I opened up the curtains so I wouldn't quite look so yellow. So this is one of the finished, I cleaned up this room, it doesn't look like it. This is one of the finished looks at, I don't know, that I try to do with Avon. I am not no makeup guru. So if you're like, wow, she looks like, yeah, no, that's, yeah, I'm not a makeup guru. So be nice. Be nice. Use nice words. Nice words. Anyway, today I went to the therapist and we talked about, we talked about how my arm is already getting tired. We did not talk about that. I'm trying to grab a hold of the, no phone. Okay, here we go. So we talked about how part of the healing process, going through like PTSD and abuse and different things, is being able to talk about it without busting into tears or getting sick or anything like that. Being able to just be like, yep, that happened, and this is how I feel about it. And so yeah, so we were doing that and today, and so came home, just kind of been waiting for my massive Avon order that should be here today, hopefully be here today. I can't cross my, there it goes. Hopefully be here today. I've been cleaning up the room, kind of catching up from surgery and stuff, where I was like, you can't do anything for that period of time. I'm still supposed to be careful because, you know, lifting too much heavy or bending over, I could still move the wires and then we would be in a whole world of hurt. We don't want that. So yeah, I was going to try something new, guys. I was going to do current events, but I figured I probably should get ahead of the curve on that one when I looked at it. And I was like, what do you pick from? Well, today is Columbus Day. And the more I learn about Christopher Columbus, I don't like him. He was not a nice person. He's not on my Christmas list. I do not like him. And first I thought, okay, 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Yeah, well, it may have been in 1842, and he may have sailed the ocean blue, but he was not a nice person. And find out more about how he treated the natives. I mean, depending on what story you go with, depending on how much of a bad guy he was, there is just as much of he just came to the Americas and he didn't realize where he was at, and so he thought it was India. And so he came there and he brought germs that the native people were not used to, and they died. There's accounts of where he came in and he wiped out the native people by all kinds of different means. If you know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to get into details. If you want to know more about it, you can Google it. And you know how he pretty much extorted money out of King Ferdinand and the Queen. I mean, you know what? I'm not a historian, so I don't know. I do know that we celebrate him, and it wasn't that long ago that they were rioting in the streets because they wouldn't take down, or they were going to take down the statue, I think, of Robert E. Lee, and out of a horrible time in history. And guys, you know, we all have horrible times in our personal history. We have horrible times in our families and in our nation, and as a world, there's horrible points in our history. And should we say we're gonna brush that underneath the rug? We're gonna tear down statues. We're gonna not remember the day that these people did it? Or are we gonna really look at what they really did and who they really were, and say, yeah, that crap happened. That ish happened. How are we going to keep that stuff from happening again? Like an article I found out I was reading about over the weekend. Sorry guys, arm's getting tired. I read about over the weekend how this group of Christians, okay, and I use that word loosely because there are people say, oh yeah, I'm a Christian, and did you tell your mouth or your behavior or anything? No? Then okay. Yeah. And I'm not a perfect Christian. I'm not a perfect believer in Jesus. I don't You know, there's things that I do all the time that I'm like, yeah, that's not according to my faith. But, okay, so these group of Christians supposedly came into a coffee shop. They went in there. They were out handing out literature, and like a friend of mine said, well, you weren't there. Yeah, no, I wasn't there. They are out handing out literature, and they went to the coffee shop, and this guy, a homosexual guy that ran the coffee shop, and